Welcome to Finding Holiness, where we delve into timeless Torah wisdom, revealing the sacred in everyday moments. Join us on a journey to elevate your spirituality and discover holiness in every aspect of life. I'm your host, Rabbi David Kadosh, and together, let's embark on a path of spiritual exploration. I hope you enjoy this next episode. So we are on Perek Yud, Mishna Tet, last Mishnah of the Perek, Masechet Yevamot. Ben Tesha Shanim Beyom Echad, Shebal Yevimto. If a man died childless, and his brother, who happened to be a boy who was 9 years old, and one day, he lived with the Yevama. Now, after the boy became bar mitzvah, an adult, he married another woman, and then he died. The boy died without children. So now both widows are left to a third brother. If the boy didn't live with the first woman after he became an adult, the first wife, then the first woman performs halitza with the third brother, but she cannot be taken into yibum because she has a double yibum bond with him. So it has to be done with halitza. The second woman, meaning the wife that he married after he became an adult, that woman can perform halitza or be taken in yibum because she only has one yibum bond. Rabbi Shimon argues and he says, the third brother can perform yibum with whichever one of those women that he wants. And then he does chalitza with the other wife. All these laws that we taught in the previous Mishnayot and this one that apply to a 9-year-old boy and one day is no difference between him, who has the status of a child, and a 20-year-old male that doesn't have 2 pubic hairs. He also has the status of a child. Okay, he's not considered an adult, so the laws are the same with regards to both.
How do they know that the boys?
I guess there was a way to tell the way he. I don't know. Maybe he said kid voice. I don't know. I'm not sure.
And what did he mean by double yibum? What is that?
A double yibum bond is when there was. Well, the note here explains it. He says that the cohabitation with the boy before he became an adult is treated like the ma'amar, and that was that's one yibum bond because it's like partially his wife. Then when the boy dies, the first woman has 2 yibum bonds to the third brother, one from the first brother that died, okay, and then one from the boy who cohabited with her. So there's a double yibum bond to the third guy. So there's that's why we would have to, not knowing which one. I guess that's why the Mishnah says you perform halitza in that case. Okay, Perek Yud Aleph, Mishnah Aleph. Nos'in al ha'anusa ve'al ha'mefuta. A person is allowed to marry the relatives of a woman who was violated or seduced by him. That's called the anus or the anusa or the mefuta. He's only forbidden to the relative of his wife, but not to the relatives of a girl who was not his wife, even if he seduced her or violated her. Ha'ones ve'amefate ala nesua hayav. However, one who violates or seduces the relatives of a woman he married, he's still liable to a punishment of that erva prohibition that the Torah describes. Nose adam anusat aviv umfutat aviv. A man is allowed to marry a woman who was violated by his father or was seduced by his father. Meaning, she's not an erva to him because the father lived with this woman, it was through violation and seduction. It's not. This girl's not considered his father's wife. Anusat beno umfutat beno. Similarly, a woman who was violated by his son or was seduced by his son, by the man. Okay, he can marry this woman. So a man can marry a woman who was seduced by his son. Rabbi Yehuda osir ba'anusat aviv umfutat aviv. Rabbi Yehuda, however, forbids the case of a man marrying a woman who was violated by her father or seduced by his father. Let's do one more Mishnah. If you have a female convert and her sons converted to Judaism with her, and one of the sons married and died without children, lo holsin velo miyamibin. The remaining sons cannot perform halitza or yibum with the widow. This widow is free to marry because the sons were born to non-Jewish parents and only afterwards converted. They're not considered legally brothers, halachically. They're biological brothers, but not legal brothers according to halacha, and therefore yibum and halitza don't apply to them. Afilu holato shel rishon shelo biktusha veledato biktusha. The same law applies even if the first son's conception was not in sanctity, meaning when he was conceived, the parents were not converted, but his birth was in sanctity. They performed conversion after the conception. That the law still applies. And the second son's conception and birth were in sanctity. So meaning, even though the second son was Jewish completely from conception and birth, he still cannot perform yibum or halitza. The same law applies to a non-Jewish slave woman whose sons were freed with her by the Jewish owner, master. So one of the sons there died without children because they are also not considered legally brothers according to halacha. So yibum and chalitza are not required over there, and the widow is free to marry whoever she wants. All right.